Hey everybody, you know it's Black History Month, and the best way to learn about African American culture is to visit the African American Culture Center. So let's come on in. Good, bro.
How you
Been
been?
a minute. Been good, man. How you been?
Good, man. Working. Good to see you.
Hey, man. You know, this is the spot for Black History Month. Had to come, check things out. Explain a little bit, like, what would you say, like, started this place out and what you're kind of gearing towards for Albany?
So the center started in about 2012. There's actually an unfortunate shooting of a young black boy. And the community rallied around that to have a place where they can meet and gather. The building came in rough shape. It was built in like 1890. So it went for about 5 or 6 years, only using one of the 4 floors. And then we came in about 3 years ago, and now we have it open up to the 3rd floor. So we use this space for a lot of different things. On this floor, workshops, art crafts, and also like media showings. So sometimes we'll do movie nights and things like that down here. And the regular things being like art and studio time. So artists get to come here and work in any space throughout the building for free. And come and produce pieces. So a lot of it is artists hanging out, spending time, listening to music, just trying to create.
Yeah.
We love to provide space for that.
So I gotta say, this already looks like one of my favorite parts, at least, like all these amazing just accents. I can't even see everything that's on the wall, but like this, what's this next part we're getting into?
So right now we're entering our color changing installation. Different kinds of pieces, whether it be pencil, marker, paint, and put them under color changing lights with different layers and sees how it reacts.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. We got the music. This is my jam right here. All right. This is already my favorite spot.
This is the fun spot. We've had some people tell us this is the dance room.
Yeah.
We've done live music performance up here with spoken word, poetry, live instruments. This is a really fun communal space, and that's how we like it to feel. We want it to be open, accessible. I feel like you can just hang here, have a good time, and commune with people.
One thing that I was wondering, like, for you personally, what do you feel if a place like this didn't exist? What does that affect in this community?
Yeah. I feel like that'd be felt most in the relationships. I think people having a chance to commune with other people is what creates a neighborhood and a community. And I really would become worried that if this wasn't here, people wouldn't have that place of familiarity to build a community from. And it would just be a bunch of people walking by this block to get to a bus stop or go somewhere else. And instead now they feel like there's a safe place. You know, we have some homeless folks right up the way at the city mission. And they know that if they come down this block, they can always sit on our front steps if they want to take a break. And that's important because there's no other benches on this block, right? So where else does someone feel comfortable enough to rest? Yeah. Just to sit and take in their surroundings. And when you don't have that, I mean, you really don't have the basis of much of anything person to person.
What does Black History Month mean to you?
Yeah. So for me, like as I've grown as an adult, I focus more on the history part. So the month, the celebration is really just about celebrating information and learning. Things that aren't always conventionally thought of. You know, there are black people in all parts of the world and all parts of this earth. So learning about black people in the Arctic, learning about black people who were samurais, learning about black people who farmed in different climates, figuring out what kind of new things I might want to try out and see what my blackness can do for me.
See, I didn't even know all that, man. Well, how about you, man? How about you, man?
You already know. You
already
already know what it means to me. You know, I'm very militant. You know,
Yeah.
I'm already, I'm already into like Malcolm X and stuff like that as it is since when we was younger. So you know me, but what it means to me, like just expression, just like art, music, cause I like music that's eclectic, that embodies our blackness. So like jazz, blues, all that type of stuff. So that hits the soul real good. So, and also literature. So anything that has to do like that, I am always open to just dive in and experience it. So that's what it means to me.
And don't forget about that baby making music, that Trey Songz and Usher.
All right, I got you. Usher, I'm with Trey Songz.
Hey.
Black History Month is honoring the past, it's honoring the present, and it's being inspired for our future. So Black History Month is everything that has happened, that our ancestors have done, from our recent ancestors who have passed along, like Toni Morrison, to Harriet Tubman, all the way to the history that's happening today, like being at the African American Cultural Center that didn't exist 10 years ago, and being able to celebrate black art with black people.
So I think it's important to highlight the accomplishments of several Black and brown people in this country. Of course, the Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm X's and the Maya Angelos, but also lesser known or less popular African American people who have contributed a great amount, including Dr. Shirley Jackson of RPI. And the list goes on and on of just journalists, scientists, speakers, writers, etc., and to really celebrate not just in this month, but every day of the year, because Black history is American history.
Black history should be celebrated every day, not just in the month of February. So I like to look at Black History Month as a time where we remind, at least for Black folks, where we should remind ourselves, especially our children, that next generation, we need to remind ourselves all the sacrifices, the pain and the hurt that our ancestors had to go through, so we can live today. But just the little things that we have, the little things that we achieve, wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for our ancestors that did the marching, took the whips, had the ropes around their neck, did so many things where. We can have just the little amount of freedom that we have now, where we can have it. So I feel like it's a time of remembrance, of honoring, of celebrating, of accepting and loving Black culture.